unoccupied cell. Okay, you can skip them. So we have reached to this particular cell, +1, -1. So to balance out, again what we have to do, we have to add 1 unit in this cell. After reducing this cell, we have to take away 1 unit from this cell. We cannot add this one because we have skipped it. We have just stepped over this cell. So we have to add in this one. So +1 would be here. We have added 1 unit here to balance out, reduced 1 unit from here to balance out, added 1 unit here. Now, what would be our movement? Now we have to take a 90-degree turn vertically. Okay, just stop here because there is no occupied cell ahead. So you have to stop here. You must stop here. +1, -1, +1. So here would be a -1. -1. Just remember simple rule. The loop from here you are starting the loop. Put positive sign in the next cell. Put negative sign in the next cell. Put positive in the next negative. So alternatively we have to put plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, and so on. Now take a pause here. You cannot move further vertically, so you have to take now a horizontal turn 90 degree. You have to move in this direction. Here it was -1, so here would be +1. +1. Now again you have moved horizontally. Now you have to take a vertical turn in this section. Take a vertical turn. +1, it means here it would be -1. Now after moving vertically, you have to take a horizontal turn, and after taking horizontal turn, this is unoccupied, you can stop here. This is unoccupied, you can stop here. So you are back home, the empty cell from where we have started. So there is already positive sign, -1, +1. So you can see it is not necessary that there would be only 4 cells to formulate a closed loop. There can be any number of cells to formulate a closed loop. In this particular case, there are how many cells? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The even number. You must remember that the cells should be even number. So now calculate the opportunity cost for this particular cell from where we have started. +1. It means we are transferring 1 unit from this route. What does it mean? It would add 6 rupees in the total cost. So 6 minus 1. We are reducing 1 unit, so -12. We are adding 1 unit, so +12. Reducing 1 unit from this cell, -8. Adding 1 unit, so +14. Reducing 1 unit means -7, or we can write it 6 minus 12 plus 12 minus 8 plus 14 and -7. That is equal to, what would be the net effect? 6 minus 12. So 12 cancel out. 6 minus 8 minus 2 plus 14 means plus 12 minus 7, 1. So again it would be minus, the net effect would be 5 rupees. It means our total cost would be increased by 5 rupees if we adopt this route or this cell, and the net or opportunity cost would be -5. So again there is no benefit in opting this route, so because opportunity cost is -5. Let's cross check it. Plus 6 minus 12 plus 12 minus 8 plus 14 minus 7. So 18, 32 minus 12, 20 minus 8, 12 minus 7, 5. Okay, right. Just clear this mess. Okay. Let me write it again. It is 10. It was 12. So we are back to the initial position. Now again calculate the opportunity cost for which cell. S2D2 we have already used. S3D1 we have calculated. S3D2 S3D2 for this particular cell. Okay, now tell me from where you are going to start the closed loop. From this point you are going to start +1. You are moving clockwise. Just skip the unoccupied cell and end up in the topmost cell, which one is occupied. Now take a 90-degree right. You cannot move ahead because there is an unoccupied cell. So again you have to take the right 90-degree. There is no occupied cell, so you can't go ahead. Just take again horizontal turn, then vertical turn and come back to the home. So +1, -1, +1, -1, +1 and -1. So it is very simple to calculate the opportunity cost. You must follow the basic steps, okay? And it would be very easy to calculate the opportunity cost. +1 means +16, -1 means -10, again +12, +12, -8, +14, and it is -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what would be the net impact? 16 minus 10, 6, plus 12, 18, minus 8, 10, plus 14, 24, minus 7, 18. So minus 18. So in any case we are not going to adopt this route because it is going to exert the maximum negative impact on the total cost. So let's go for the next unoccupied cell. It is going to take a lot of time. So just keep your temper. It was 12. No, we're not here. Okay. So we are back to the normal problem. So we have calculated opportunity cost for 4 unoccupied cells. Now go for the fifth one, that is S3D3. We have calculated already S1D4. S1D4. So where it is S1D4, this one. So it is very simple to calculate opportunity cost for this cell because we have to just move vertically, then we have to move horizontally and vertically and horizontally. So we have started from here, +1, -1, +1 and -1. So calculate the total cost, impact on the total cost. +1 means +13, -1 means -14, +1 means +8, and -1 means -12. So what would be the net effect? 13 minus 14 or 13 plus 8, 21, and 21. So you can calculate 21 minus 12 plus 14, 26. So net impact would be -5. So it is interesting. We have net effect is equal to -5. What is the meaning of -5? That our total cost would be reduced by 5 rupees. If we are transferring 1 unit from this cell, we are adopting this route, then we can reduce our total cost by 5 rupees per unit. So opportunity cost would be, just change the sign, that is plus 5. Okay, so which one is the remaining cell? S2D1, S2D1. Okay, S2D1. Just clear this one. S2D1. Very quickly, what was the value there? If you remember, what was the value? It was, I think, 13. Yes, it was 13. Right. Okay. S1, S2D1. For this cell, we have to calculate the opportunity cost. Just start clockwise, move to this direction. Put a positive sign, positive 1 here, because we are allocating 1 unit to this cell. It means this allocation is going to increase our total cost. So move in the take the 90-degree turn to the left side, right side, horizontally. Now take a pause and think, can you stop here? Because if you are stopping here, then you have to move vertically, and vertically there is no destination where you can stay, because there is no occupied cell vertically. So what we have to do, just simply step over this cell and move to the next one. Now take downward turn 90 degree and come back to the unoccupied cell. So plus 1, minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1. Only take care of the cells which are actually following the closed loop. Don't look at the cells which you have skipped. So don't look at this cell. So what would be the net effect on the total cost? Plus 1 means plus 7, minus 1 means minus 12, plus 1 means plus 12, and minus 1 means minus 8. That is equal to 12, minus 8, minus 1. It means if you are opting this route, our total cost is going to be reduced by 1 rupee. Okay, so opportunity cost would be plus 1. Okay, so in this way we have calculated opportunity cost for each and every empty cell given in this table, in this particular problem. Now what is the next step? What would be the outcome of doing all this boring task? What would be the outcome? Now you should look at the opportunity cost of each empty cell. What is the opportunity cost of first cell? That is minus 10, minus 5, minus 18, plus 5 and plus 1. So what is of our interest here? Look at the plus 5. What is the meaning of plus 5? If we are opting this route, S1D4, we are actually opting this route, then what would be the impact on total cost? Our cost would be reduced by 5 rupees per unit. If we are transferring 1 unit from this route, our cost would be reduced by 5 rupees. And in this particular cell, S2D1, if we opt this route, S2D1, our cost would be reduced by 1 rupees per unit. So now we have to minimize our total cost. So which one is the best option for us? There is no doubt that this one is the best option for us, because it is going to create maximum impact on the total cost. It is going to reduce the total cost by largest quantity. So we have to opt this option. Okay, and just forget the other ones. Focus on this option only. We have to actually transfer these units. Okay, we have to opt this route. So how we are going to do it? S1D4. I have created another table for the same data. So we are writing the values. Here it was 180. Initial location was 180. In the next one it was 150. And the next it was 170. And then we come down to 180, 180, 120 and 200. So basically it was the solution, the initial basic, feasible solution. So I'm just clearing all the values here to write them again, so that it create a clear picture to you. Okay, just bear with me because I'm creating so much mess here. It was 12, 7, 10, 11, and it was 12 again, 8, 11, 13, 14 and 7. Initial allocation was 180 units, 150 units and 170 units. In this it was 180 units, 120 units and 200 units. So what we are going to do with the highest opportunity cost? We are actually going to transfer the maximum possible amount to this cell. So what was the closed loop, if you remember, for S1D4? For S1D4 for this cell. We started from this cell, came down to this cell, took a turn, 90-degree turn horizontally and came to this cell, and after coming here again we took a 90-degree turn to came this cell, and from there we came here. So if we are following this loop and transferring 1 unit in this cell, then how much profit we are going to get? 5 rupees. Profit, you can say, or reduction in the total cost. If we are transferring 1 unit, then our benefit is of 5 rupees. So to maximize this benefit, we are going to transfer maximum possible number of units in this cell, so that we can minimize our total, so that we can achieve our objective of minimization of the total cost. If we are transferring 1 unit in this cell, our benefit is of 5 rupees. So we are going to maximize our profit. Look at this cell. What is the requirement of this cell? Destination for it was 320 units. And what is the availability of units here? 170. So for one time, suppose we are transferring all of the units from this cell to this cell. So 170 units we are going to here. Now look at, to balance out this rim requirements, what would be the total availability now? 170 plus 120 plus 200. So total would be 320 plus 170, that is 0, 9 and 4. So to balance the requirements, what we have to do? We should transfer 170 units from this cell to this cell. But look at the availability of units in this cell. How many units are there? Only 120 units. So at max, what we can do? We can transfer these 120 units to this cell. So we can reduce from this 120 units. What would be the balance? 0, 7, 3, 370. But the requirement is 320 units, and still we have 370 units. So we cannot transfer 170 units to this cell. How much we can transfer? We can transfer only 120 units, because to balance it out we have only 120 units in this particular cell. So we have transferred 120 units from this cell to this one. So what is the quantity left here? That is 50 units. To balance out it, what we have to do? We should transfer these 120 units to this cell. So these are going to be 0. 0 units are going to be here, and this would be 180 plus 120, that is equal to 300. It is going to be 300 units. So in this way we allocated the maximum possible units in this cell. So how does our new question, new table look like? 180 is unaffected, so we are going to put it as it is. 150 is unaffected, we are going to put it as it is. Out of 170 units, we have transferred how many? 120 units. So how many units left here? 50 units. So we are going to change it. Instead of 170, there would be 150. Only 50 units will be there. Initially, there were no units in this cell. Now we have allocated 120 units. So it is going to be 120 units. And to balance it out, what we have done? We just transferred 120 units to this cell. So here would be no allocation. And 180 plus 120, it became 300 units. Okay. So this is our new solution or improved solution. Okay. Okay. Just I forgot to tell you that. What's the condition of getting an optimal solution? If all the opportunity cost of an initial feasible solution are negative, it means our solution is optimal. And if it is not so, then the solution is not optimal. In our case, 2 of the opportunity costs were positive. It means our solution was not optimal. So we have to improve it. And how we have improved it? By transferring 120 units, by transferring the maximum units in the cell which bring us the maximum benefit, that is S1D4. So by transferring 120 units from this cell to this cell, we just improved our solution, and the improved solution is this one. So I'm going to clear this one. Just let me check if video is continued or not. Yeah, it's working. So the initial feasible solution gave us the total cost of transportation is equal to 10,220. Now we got an improved solution with this allocation. So we can calculate the total cost, and we can identify that this solution is for sure going to be lesser than this total cost. Okay, the total cost of this allocation would be lesser than this allocation. Okay, so we got an improved solution, but still this solution is not optimal. Again, we have to check the optimality of this solution as well. So in management science, you have to do a lot of repetition is there, a lot of repetition of the task is there. We have calculated opportunity cost for all the empty cells for initial feasible solution. Now we have to repeat all the steps for the improved solution. This one is the improved solution. So again, what we have to do? Simply calculate the opportunity cost for the unallocated cells in this table. So how many cells are there? Unoccupied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. And how many are there? Occupied cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. So again we have to calculate the opportunity cost for these empty cells. So let's start without taking so much time. So first empty cell is S2 D1. S2 D1. So we are going to start here, from here. Put a sign +1. I am not putting for simplicity +1. Now we are jumping to this cell. No. Why? Because there is no option to go down one. So we are jumping to directly to this one, this cell. Then we are coming down to this cell, and we are coming back to this one. So what would be the root? It is plus, because we are from where we have started. Just put the plus sign over there. So +7. Next -12. Next +12. Next -8. So what would be the net effect and opportunity cost? 7 plus 12, 19 plus 12 plus 8, so -1. So opportunity cost would be +1. For next, just clearing this one. So which one is the next empty cell? S2 D1, we can take it S2 D2, S2 D2. So what would be the root for this cell? S2 D2. Start from here, go in this cell, come down, come back to the empty cell. Because three corners are of occupied cells. Just remember, there can be only one empty cell in a closed loop, that is the empty cell itself, for which we are calculating opportunity cost. So for this, what would be the opportunity cost? 11 minus 10 plus 12 and minus 8. So it is 23 minus 18, that is equal to 5 or minus 5. Next opportunity cost empty cell is next empty cell. We have taken this. Now we will take this one, S2 D4. S2 D4, what would be our root from this to this to this cell, and this one to this one, and again to the empty cell. So sign would be 14 minus plus 14 minus 8 plus 12 and minus 13. So net effect would be 26 minus 21, 5, that is equal to minus 5. Next one is S3 D1. S3 D1. S3 D1, just clear it. S3 D1. So what would be our root? We are going to start from where? We are going to jump in this cell by skipping the occupied cell. Now where are we going? Can we stop here? Just look down in the column? No, because there is no occupied cell. Can we stop here? Yes, we can jump in this cell, but after that there is no way to go anywhere. After coming to this cell, we have to move horizontally, either in this direction or in this direction, but there is no occupied cell in either direction, so we cannot stop even in this cell. So where we have to go? Directly to the last cell of this row, that is S1 D4, and from there directly come down to the S3 D4, and from there come back to the empty cell. Okay, so basically there are 4 coordinate points of this occupied cell: 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what would be the opportunity cost? 6 minus 12 plus last, that is 13 minus and 7. So what is going to be the net effect on the total cost? 6 plus 13, 19, minus 19, 0. So opportunity cost 0, net effect 0. What does it mean? It means there would be no effect on the total cost if we are going to adopt this route. Just clear this. Now we are ready for the next empty cell. Which one? S3 D2. S3 D2. So what would be the root of our closed loop? S3 D2. We will go from empty cell to the occupied cell, then directly to the last cell and come So again there are 4 corner points of this cell. Plus 16 minus 10 plus 13 and minus 7. So what would be the net effect? 16 plus 13, 29 minus 17, that means 12, means minus 12, means there would be negative impact on the total cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the next? Which one is the next cell? That is S3, D3. Just clear this one. It is 10. So last cell is S3, D3. S3, D3. S3, D3. So what would be our route? We have to start from here. Can we stop here? Look at the right side and the left side. Do you have any point or occupied cell? No, there is no occupied cell. So don't stop here and go to the topmost cell. Then take right route, right hand side, right turn to this cell and came down to this cell and back. So it's a simple 4-cornered closed loop. What would be the change? 11 minus 12 plus 13 minus 7, that is equal to 24 minus 19, it means 5, it means minus 5. Okay, after doing all these things, we're left with one positive opportunity cost. And what does it mean? It means still we don't have the optimal solution. This solution is not optimal. So what we have to do next? Again we have to improve this solution. And how we are going to improve? Select the cell which has the highest opportunity cost, and S2D1 is that cell which has the highest opportunity cost. So what need to be done here? So what's the meaning of 1 S2D1 S2D1? If we are opting this route, our cost will be minimized by 1 rupee per unit. So we are going to maximize this opportunity. And how we are going to maximize this opportunity? Again create the closed loop. This one. Initially we have transferred 1 unit from this cell to this one, and we got the benefit of 1 rupee. So now we are going to maximize this benefit. And how we are going to do it? We are going to transfer maximum possible units to this cell. So what's the maximum requirement of destination 1? That is equal to 180. So at max we can transfer only 180 units to this cell. So from here we are transferring 180 units in this cell. So how many left here? 120. Okay. Now to balance it out, we have to shift these 180 units where? To this corner, because we are not going to consider this one because it is not the part of closed loop. So how many units would be there? 180 plus 50, 230. Instead of 50 there would be 230 units. Now all the rim requirements are satisfied. Now again we have to move the new table, the improved solution. What would it be? Initially there were 180 units, now there would be 0 units because we have transferred all the units to this cell. So here would be no allocation. In this cell there would be 150 because there is no change in this cell. In the next one there would be 230 units. In the lower cell 120 units, and in this cell there are going to be 180 units, and remaining cells will be same, that is 120 in this one and 200 units in this one. So in third step again we have with us the improved solution. Okay, I'm going to clear it. So we hope that we will get the optimal solution in this table. So this is the new improved solution with us. Now what we have to do, we have to again check the optimality of this table, and how we are going to do that in a similar way, similar manner, by calculating opportunity cost for all the empty cells. There are 6 occupied cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are same number of unoccupied cells. So it's going to be the longest lecture of our lecture series. Now, identify the unoccupied cells. Let's start with S1D1. S1D1. What would be the closed loop for this cell? We are going to start from this one to this one. Now to this cell, come back to this cell, and finally to the empty cell. So it is going to be the closed loop. This cell, this and this one. So what would be the impact? We are starting from here. So plus 12, minus 12, minus plus 8, and minus 7. So what would be the net effect, and eventually the opportunity cost? 12 minus 12, 0, 8 minus 7, 1. Net effect is positive 1, so opportunity cost would be minus 1. So next empty cell is this one, S2D2. 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 So we are going to start from this cell in the vertical direction, then take a 90 degree right, horizontally move to the next cell, again take a 90 degree right, come to this cell, and again take a 90 degree to the right. So it would be the closed loop. So what would be the net effect? Plus 11, minus 10, plus 12, and minus 8. Net effect is 11 minus 10, 1, 13, 8, that is 5, so minus 5. So net impact in S2D2 would be minus 5. So every time we are getting minus 5 in opportunity cost, it means we are getting closer to the optimal solution. So now the next empty cell is S2D4, that is S2D4. So for this cell we are calculating opportunity cost S2D4. So what would be the closed loop for this cell? Move horizontally to this cell, then go vertically to this cell, again go vertically to S1D4, and then come back to the empty cell. So in this way we formulated a closed loop. So how would we calculate the opportunity cost? 14 plus minus 8 plus 12 and minus 13, that is equal to 5. So net effect is 5 and the opportunity cost would be minus 5. In a similar manner, we are going to calculate the opportunity cost for next empty cell, that is S3D1. S3D1. It means this one. So how would we are going to calculate the opportunity cost? Go in this cell, take right 90 degree, go to this cell, and go this one from here to here, and come down to this cell and come back to the starting point. So in this way we formulated the closed loop. So what would be the impact? 6 from the starting point, minus 7 plus 8 minus 12 plus 13 and minus 7. So the net impact would be plus 1, or the opportunity cost would be minus 1. So far we are getting good signs that we are going to get the optimal solution. Now we move on the fifth cell, that is S3D2. S3D2. That is S3D2 for this one. Let me clear this one. S3D2. S3D2. Start from this. Go directly to the last cell of this row. Come down the last row of this column and come back to the empty cell. So now the impact would be 16 minus 10 plus 13 minus 7, that is equal to 12, or opportunity cost would be minus 5. So last empty cell is S3D3. I hope that this time we would get the optimal solution, because all opportunity costs are negative till this point. So last empty cell is S3D3. S3D3. So for this, the closed loop will start from here and go to the last cell of this row and come down to this point. So again, the opportunity cost would be 11 minus 12 plus 13 and minus 7. So the net effect on the total cost would be 5, and the opportunity cost would be minus 5. So finally we got the optimal solution of this problem, because what is the condition of optimality? That all the opportunity cost of the empty cells should be negative. Only in that case our solution would be optimal. So fortunately we got the optimal solution, that because all the opportunity costs of the empty cells are negative. So now we can calculate the total cost of this transportation problem by simply multiplying the cost per unit to the xij, that means units allotted to that particular cell. So final cost would be 9,440. So you can compare this cost with the cost of the initial feasible solution, that was 10,220. So we have improved the total cost from 10,220 to 9,440. So in this way you can see that the stepping stone method is very efficient one. So it always improves, or it have the capacity of improving the initial feasible solution. So in this way we can improve the initial feasible solution. Although the process is very lengthy, but there is it is simply a repetition of the steps. You have to repeat it several times, the same steps. Okay, so that makes it a lengthy process, but the calculations are quite easier. You can do it very easily. So in next video we are going to discuss the next method for calculating optimal solution, that is Modi method or modified distribution method. Thank you.